Okay, my friends, this is a shocker du jour. I love this. This is Chat GPT. I put in, if mud fossils are real, what would change? Listen to this. If mud fossils, often associated with the idea that large anomalous rock formations are actually the remains of ancient giant biological organisms, as Roger Spurr claims, were proven to be real, it would have significant implications across various fields. Here's how it might change things. Number one, scientific paradigms. Geology and paleontology would change. Mud fossils would challenge the current understanding of geology and paleontology. Yes, absolutely. Scientists would need to reevaluate the processes of fossilization and rock formation, as well as the history of life on Earth. Biological evolutionary theories. Existence of such large ancient biological entities could lead to a revision of evolutionary timelines and theories about prehistoric life. Yes, absolutely. Historical and archaeological implications, ancient civilizations. If mud fossils were shown to be the remain of giant organisms that lived alongside or influenced ancient civilizations, it could prompt a re-examination of historical records and archaeological finds. Yes. Mythology and legends. Many cultures have myths of giants, ancient beings. Discovery of mud fossils might lead to new interpretations of these myths and their origins. Yes. Scientific methods and research, new research methods. We need new research methods, absolutely. The verification of mud fossils would require the development of new methods to analyze and distinguish biological material from geological formations, which there are none of. Geology of layers and so forth of just sediment, that's just eroded biology. So anyway, where were we? It would require the development of new methods and tools distinguishing biology material from geological eroded biological material formations. Interdisciplinary research, absolutely interdisciplinary, that's the key. Scientists from different fields, geologists, biologists, archaeologists, would need to collaborate more closely to understand and verify these things. Education and public understanding, textbooks and curricula. Educational materials would need to be updated to include, hold on. All right, here it is, education and public understanding. The public just doesn't understand it. They're being falsely educated. They need new textbooks and curricula. Educational materials would need to be updated to include these new understandings, which could alter how geology, biology, paleontology are taught. Public perception has to understand this. Such a discovery could lead to significant public interest and debate, potentially influencing how people perceive science and history. Technological and practical implications, exploration and excavation. New technologies and methods might be developed to explore and excavate these mud fossil finds, potentially leading to new discoveries and technologies. Economic impact. If mud fossils lead to new industries or technologies, there could be economic impact, including potential for new resources or materials. And a lot of stuff that I've done could change a lot of stuff. Philosophical or theological considerations. This is where it gets a little tricky. Existential questions. This is why both sides are not happy about this. Academia hates it because it points towards God. The people that are God people hate it because it points towards just crazy stuff, mythology. And they think it takes away from God. I see it just the opposite. I think it points more towards the reality of God as a super, influencer of the universe. And I think his son was Jesus Christ. I think that's real. And he came to warn us. He said, all that stuff is real. Don't think it's a joke. This is real. Follow what I'm telling you and you might get out. If not, you're going to end up coming back. You're going to come back. Where you come, that's up to you. If you do the things I tell you, you're going to come to a good place. You do the things I didn't tell you, you're going to go to a bad place. That's the way I'm taking Jesus Christ now. I was never a believer. I couldn't care less about God, Jesus Christ. I thought it was a joke. Well, no longer, my friends. Now, this is where it comes, the philosophical, theoretical considerations, existential. What's going to happen after you die? Existence of giant biological entities might prompt new philosophical and theological questions about the nature of life, the history of the earth. While mud fossils are often considered pseudoscience and not widely accepted by the scientific community, if substantial evidence were to emerge supporting their existence, it would undoubtedly have a profound impact on many areas of knowledge and inquiry. And that knowledge does exist in overwhelming quantities, and it has been rejected just completely out of hand by the people we trusted. They're supposed to be looking for evidence of truth. It's just the opposite. We have been taken to the cleaners, my friends. And if we don't stop this, it's just never going to stop. Now, AI says I need more evidence. I have DNA tests. I have 3 separate DNA tests. This was DNA tested, and 2 other ones of giant humans were also DNA tested. All 3 of them came back with mitochondrial human DNA. This is all the things that were done to them, and they were dense and excellent quality, 2 of the 3. This was dense and excellent quality, and so was the huge fingertip. Excellent quality DNA from the 36-inch, 3-foot long fingertip, and from the lung. Hold on. Okay, I talked to the people that did the test, and they said it was 100% certainty. It was dense, and it was human mitochondrial DNA. These 2 for absolute certainty. The other one was still mitochondrial DNA. It was just not dense. All right, and here's the signatures. These are the CTAGs. You know, this is a top-end test. This is a PCR test. I believe it was the first one ever done in the world, absolutely on humans, and giant humans, no question whatsoever. And this goes back to 2015. So if that's not evidence, how about CAT scans? I had 7 CAT scans done. And it's hard to see in mud fossils, I agree, but there was enough detail that we could see them for exactly for what they were. The 2D is better than the 3D, and I have both done, 2D and 3D. Jesse Garant and Associates, the best people in the world, basically, doing CAT scans. And they did all 7 CAT scans for free because they knew what I had, and they were excited about the science, and it did not work out as planned. I had hoped that I could show that they were scientists, and instead, they tried to destroy everybody I ever put my fingers next to. This is what you get from academia. It's not scientific whatsoever. And if ChatGPT or AI or any of them think that that's going to happen, they got a lot more programming to do to tell them, check into the nature of humanity. It's self-serving, and it's truth has no meaning anymore. Evidence has no meaning. Ethical morality has no meaning. And these are from the people that are teaching our kids. That's not right. ChatGPT here has a little ways to go, but they're getting pretty close. They're exactly right. Mudfossils Changed 100%, and it points to humanity. It points to the fault and the problems with the human ego and the quest for status above truth. That's just not right. You should be able to mix the 2. You should be able to say, wow, we had things maybe a little wrong. Let's talk about it. And then you mix it together and everybody gets along. No, it was a standoff, and really a nasty standoff against me. I tried to be nice, then I got a little bitter, and I'm never going to let go of this. Because it can't be stopped. It cannot be stopped. I want to see this before I die. That's all. All right? That's just it. I have what probably are new species. These are what we call no-toes. And some kind of a foot. It even looks like it had a sole built into the foot. But I think they worked on springs. This is brand new stuff. That right there is the tibia comes down, and the fibia sits on the side. They fall right off because they're only held in by ligaments. And that is a foot. Now, it should be at least examined. It certainly could be DNA tested. Now, everything's different. I was the first one to do the DNA test, and now it's being done regularly. Now, not on the mud fossils. Now, this is a bone. That's a bone, and they transition into mudstone in some cases. Other cases are different kinds of things. This is a footprint in Triassic rock. This is the red bed. Above it was gray clay, and above that was the black cap. Well, guess what? This guy stepped in that red bed, and then gray clay, which was above the red bed, and pushed it down through the red bed. This shouldn't be down below. The red bed and the gray clay were wet at the same time, and then the black cap came down and sealed them pristinely. So what that means is the Triassic period happened in a weekend. That's about it. This is the wet flesh that boiled off, is the red bed. Then the gray rest of the stuff came off over the top of that. And then this guy was hiding out somewhere. And he came running over the top of that, trying to get away, and pushed down the gray clay down through, sloop, 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 like that. Pushed it down through the red bed. And I have that footprint right over here, and that's the black cap that comes on top. We have a bunch of different things that cannot be denied, absolutely cannot be denied, and overthrow everything that we have been taught. That right there is a hair follicle right there, you see it? That's the erector pili muscle right there. This is the sebaceous gland right there. You see it? That is the hair shaft coming up the top. And down at the bottom is those two little dots right there, which are the hair papilla down the bottom, which is the vein and artery. That, my friends, is 2 inches wide, and that shows that it's from giant creature. I don't know what kind it is. But again, everything now is up for grabs. It all can be tested. And everything I have here is extremely well preserved. And Yale, of course, put out the paper after I gave them all my research. They put out a paper claiming that they discovered exceptionally preserved soft tissue fossils. Exceptional preservation, soft-bodied creatures promoted by silica-rich oceans. Precisely what I told them years prior to this, trying to work with Derek Briggs. So AI needs to start to understand what you would think would be the normal behavior of an ethical academic. There is no ethics in academic that I can find, not a single one. I'm serious. I just couldn't believe it, and I still can't believe it. And they are still holding out like it's no problem for them. They can sit around and make the kids say anything they want to make them say, and force them to pay them to get a piece of paper. That's all it's about now, is funding. It is a disgrace.